It's Easter Sunday. Rise and shine in the San Gabriel, Southern California. The weather is just great. I can see Mount Wilson overlooking the Los Angeles Valley, San Gabriel Valley, whatever name you want to use. The Angeles Forest, all the way to the sea, which I cannot see, but it goes all the way to the sea. Historically, and what a great day today that I can get whatever I want in the morning. It doesn't have to be ham and eggs, sausage. It can be a burger. At least that's been my experience every time I order food from Burger King. Rise and shine. Burger King is still rising in the morning to get whatever you want. My ice mocha, I consider them one of the best ice mochas. Is not the best. I'm already, or should I say, I am always guaranteed that this mocha is going to always taste the same, no matter what. I don't have to tell people to put in extra chocolate. Their mochas have always been the same, even if they go to countless changes over the years. I still had my choices of where I wanted to eat today. Let me just splatter Burger King all over everywhere. Burger King! Instead of French fries, I get anything. And why not? Of course, they don't open it up till 7 o'clock. So I did wait. I had to get an early start anyway. I did get my honey mustard. And my Impossible Whopper. I am live. And this is Sample Sunday. But I'm not going to necessarily call it that. But this is Easter Sunday. I thought Burger King was closed because their screen wasn't up. But like I said, I was there a little bit too early. They do open up at 7 o'clock. I thought about going someplace else, but then again, I said, you know what? Burger King is in the spotlight. Let's continue. Let's continue my honey mustard. You can't go wrong. Easter Sunday here in California. Everyone has its problems. A little piece of lettuce here and there. Get them out the way. I guess I can eat them. I don't think I need to take this part. That is non-meat. Impossible. It'll fall apart if I really open it up. I don't think that would be necessary. It does have this special mayonnaise. Let me put this side on it. It's got some pickle, got some tomato. Now let's start devouring this impossible breakfast. Can you remember a time that most fast food places only serve a certain kind of breakfast in the morning? Some of them have opened up a little bit. Just a little bit. But most of your hamburger places are still the same. Now, I haven't been to some of the other hamburger places. Maybe I never thought about it. But I'll go to somewhere that I know that I'm going to be served whatever I want. When it comes to an impossible and I don't eat meat hamburgers, I can go here. Now, if I'm sure if I ate a hamburger meat patty, more than likely they probably would make it. But like I said, I don't know of any other hamburger chain that does that. I believe there is one, but I'm not going to mention it because this is a Burger King moment. But they don't sell their Beyond anymore. And we know that these Impossibles and these Beyonds cost a great deal of money. More than your average hamburger. At first, I had a tiff about it. But then when you look at the long range goals of what you want to eat, it fits right into your budget. Just like everything else we eat, it's got to be budgetary. Sample Sunday. I kid you not. I know there are a lot of good mochas out there, it's like I said. But I've been drinking Burger King mocha. Like I said in the past, ever since they come out with the Mocha Joe. Now, a lot of Burger King aficionados, especially those people who work behind the counter, from New Jersey on, I've had a Burger King there, and it was exactly the same as here. Except for, like I said before, they had this Mocha Joe name. So you just said Mocha Joe, already prepared, just like this one probably, in the refrigerator. Already had it made. Oh, I see a coyote running across the road. And he's running quite fast. A coyote on Easter. What a way to go. As I was saying, if if you had a Burger King in New Jersey, it would be the same thing here in California. Anything else in between, the burger should be the same. I guess you can say that about all the other hamburger franchises around. But even though a lot of them have their problems, if they're your favorite place, they will have the same taste. Like I said, I used to eat meat burgers. But in today's climate, a lot of changes are going around. I think by and large, some of them tried breakfast, eat whatever you want 24/7. You pretty much have to go to a regular cafe, coffee shop to eat those type of foods. Anything you want. However, it's either fish from Burger King. They used to call it the. Did they used to call it the whaler? I remember them having two types of chicken sandwich or was it fish sandwich with the long bread, which I didn't take the care for because I didn't know which one was better than the other. But I prefer the traditional bun, no matter what it is with, whether it's chicken or fish. But at least when they make the impossible, they make it as close to a hamburger as it's supposed to be, because that's what it's supposed to be. A veggie. I would say the impossible is better than the veggie burger. But they always want to call something a different name. Sometimes you have to tell them no meat. A Burger King moment. This video is only for Burger King. The Impossible Rises. Of course, my thumbnail is pretty basic AI. I guess I could put my face on there if I wanted to. But every time I do things like that, let's be real. Every time I do things like that, sometimes they say, well, your thumbnail is not up to par. Sometimes I like to leave the thumbnail with just my face on there, but okay, I'll just put a simple burger up there. Sometimes it's the correct thumbnail, and I don't know why the thumbnail has to be colorful and all that. I would use my face on every little thing. One thing for sure, I thought about what I wanted to do last night in advance. And when I do talk to AI, or should I say Canva, I do use Canva. Instead of me drawing my thumbnails, I talk to what I want. Sometimes I have to come out with quite a few thumbnails. Not just 3, not just 6, not just 9, not just 12. But sometimes I just give up right there. Sometimes it'd be 20 thumbnails that I have to tell it before I figure out which one I want. And even then, I'm still not too sure if that's the right one. But I like to get as close as possible. Just has the sun in the background. I did want a building, the sun up. And it is Easter Sunday, so I wanted to get as close as I wanted to. Now the title? Usually my titles range in the 40 to 55% range, so they don't think it's a good title. Sometimes they give me something altogether different. I said, no, I want something close to what I'm saying. Could you please reword my thumbnail? Reword my title. And like I said before, sometimes the title comes out the same and sometimes it don't. And sometimes I tweak it with one word or two and it comes out with a higher, I'm going to call it a higher IQ. And so that's what I do. Titles, thumbnails, and the description. Regardless of how many views I get, it has to be the right thumbnail. I still do use tags because when I go into the analytical part, it tells me that I should write this many words in the description, how to do this, how to do that. But I think I am on the right track. But like I said, I thought about this a day before, trying to figure out what type of thumbnail that I want, what the title is going to be, or should I say, and then I really get down to brass tacks first thing in the morning, what I wanted to say. It's almost like writing a poem, a title for my poem. Of course, I could do a whole bunch of other types of things with that, but that's what I try to do. But let me get back. I'm going off track. But like I said, if you really like a certain franchise and you've been eating it a lot, there is a right time and a wrong time for you to buy whatever you like. Even if it's your favorite place. Because I think most people kind of neglect their favorite place, like me. Sometimes I forget about it. But not because I don't like the food. That's because we're going through a lot of changes. Now, these three things that I bought came to $14.80. No French fries. Substitute with onion rings. I know onion rings are bad for you. It's fried. But I prefer having onion rings. It's more filling. I could eat more. I had the French fry. But why be a pig about it? I'm just going to have to last me through lunch. I'm not going to have a big lunch. But like I said, when you make a good burger, you should have plenty of onions, tomatoes, whatever special sauce that you want to put on it. It could be ketchup, it could be mayonnaise, it could be dressing of some sort. It could be some of your made-up stuff. It could be anything you want to put on it that you feel is going to make you happy. Mm. I'm glad they give you napkins. Well, one thing that I do like is service. Even though you don't come there more than most people, people know when you show up. They know about when you come. Now, of course, when they change shifts, and you come at a different time, sometimes they don't know you. Just to add something, sometimes when I'm on the road, sometimes I have to go to the other hamburger franchise because I don't see enough Burger Kings. When I prefer Burger King. Now, of course, the other franchises have some pretty good stuff every now and then, especially during lunch and sometimes during breakfast, if I get the same old. But Burger King still has the same thing as some of the other burger places. They don't tell you what's on the menu, like what I like, egg and cheese biscuit, no meat. And there are other places that is on their menu, egg and cheese biscuit. You don't even have to say no meat. So even though all these franchises have something a little bit different than someone else, if they're similar to what you do, then you would go to that one. So yes, I did have a choice. I'm glad I made the right decision because I thought it was closed at first, but it wasn't. The menu screen wasn't on, but I already knew what I wanted before I got there. This is Sample Sunday. My Burger King, my way. You can't go wrong if you want a burger in the morning instead of the traditional breakfast. And especially this Easter Sunday. You can still give thanks in your own way. And that's what it's about. I'll see you in my next video, folks. Have a great day. Burger King. Let it rain for a while longer while it goes through all these complex changes that we have no control over. But to just sit back and wait and just go for it. See you later.